Robert Sterling, a man whose name echoed in the halls of finance, strode through the gleaming lobby of his skyscraper. Everything was perfect, just as he demanded. Polished marble, gleaming brass, silent efficiency. But then he saw it. A janitor, an older black man named Samuel, was sitting on a bench, a thermos in his hand. His eyes closed for just a moment. Fury, cold and sharp, pierced Robert's composed exterior. He marched over. "On your feet. Is this what I pay you for? To sleep on the job?" Samuel startled, his weary eyes blinking open. "Sir, I was just—" "For a minute too long," Robert snapped. "You're fired. Get your things. And get out." Samuel's shoulders slumped. He didn't argue. He just nodded his dignity, a silent rebuke, and slowly walked away. Robert felt a surge of satisfaction. Order was restored. He pulled out his phone to call his estate manager. He had a gala to prepare for, a celebration of his latest acquisition. But as he was about to dial, his phone buzzed with an incoming call. It was a number he didn't recognize, from a hospital. A flicker of annoyance crossed his face. He almost ignored it, but some instinct made him answer. "Robert Sterling speaking." A calm, professional voice on the other end said, "Mr. Sterling, this is Dr. Matthews from City General Hospital. I'm calling about your father, Joseph." Robert froze. His father. He hadn't spoken to his father in over 20 years, not since a bitter argument had torn them apart. "My father. What about him?" "I'm so sorry to inform you, Mr. Sterling. Your father passed away peacefully about an hour ago." The words hit Robert like a physical blow. Passed away. His father was gone. All the anger, the pride, the years of silence, they all felt so hollow now. The doctor continued, her voice gentle. "He left a letter for you. He made his nurse promise to call you immediately. He also mentioned a friend, Samuel, who he wanted to be with him at the end. He was a janitor at your building." The name hit Robert even harder than the news of his father's death. Samuel, the man he had just fired. The world tilted on its axis. He stumbled back, leaning against a cold marble pillar for support. The doctor was still talking, but the sound was distant, muffled. "Your father worked 2 jobs his whole life to support you both, even after you became successful. He was so proud of you, Mr. Sterling. He just wanted to be close to you in his final years, so he took the janitor job at your building. He didn't want you to know. He didn't want to be a burden. A janitor. His father, working in his building, scrubbing the floors he walked on, invisible to him. And Samuel. Samuel was his friend, the man who sat with his father, the man who likely listened to his father talk about the son he loved but couldn't reach, the man he had just humiliated and thrown now onto the street. A wave of nausea and shame washed over Robert. He thought about the thermos in Samuel's hand. Was it his father's? Were they sharing a final cup of coffee? The weight of his cruelty, his arrogance, crushed him. He had been so blind, so wrapped up in his world of wealth and power, that he had unseen the humanity right in front of him. He hadn't seen his own father. He hung up the phone without a word and sprinted out of the lobby, his heart pounding in his chest. He had to find Samuel. He had to make it right. But it wasn't just about Samuel anymore. It was about the 20 years he had lost, the chances he had missed. The "I love you" he could never say. He scanned the crowded street, desperation clawing at him. He saw Samuel standing at a bus stop, his shoulders stooped, a small bag in his hand. Robert ran, heedless of the people he pushed past. Samuel. Wait. Ikay Dowd. His voice cracking. Samuel Turned. His expression wary. Robert stopped in front of him, breathless, his expensive suit feeling like a costume. I'm so sorry," he gasped. "I didn't know." "About my father, Joseph." Samuel's eyes widened in understanding, and then softened with a deep, profound sadness. "He loved you, Mr. Sterling. All he ever talked about was his boy, Robert. He was so proud." Tears streamed down Robert's face, mixing with the city grime. He had chased success, built an empire of steel and glass, But in the process, he had let the most important thing in his life slip away. He had fired the man who was his father's only friend in his last moments, all for the crime of being tired. "Please," Robert whispered, his voice thick with regret. "Please, come back. Not as a janitor, as a guest, as my father's friend, as my friend." Samuel looked at the billionaire, no longer a figure of power, but a broken man mourning his father. He placed a gentle hand on Robert's shoulder. "He's at peace now, son. Let's go." In that moment, standing on a busy street corner, Robert Sterling realized the true meaning of wealth. It wasn't in the billions he had amassed, but in the moments he had lost. That day, Robert didn't just rehire a janitor. He began the long, painful journey of rebuilding his own humanity. He established a foundation in his father's name, dedicated to supporting elderly workers and reuniting estranged families. He learned that the most valuable assets aren't listed on the stock exchange, but are found in compassion, forgiveness, and the simple, quiet love of a father for his son. His empire was still there, but his world had been rebuilt on a new foundation, one that his father, Joseph, the janitor, would have been truly proud of. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that touches the heart.